Welcome to Spectrum News Within the Week. I am Emedion James, coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. President Tinubu accepts Professor Yakubu's exit as INEC chairman. Governor Moino approves release of 50 billion naira to contractors. Plus, Venezuela opposition leader Maria Corina Machado wins Nobel Peace Prize. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in just a moment. Many thanks for joining us on Spectrum News Within the Week. Our first report this afternoon is that President Bola Tinubu has ordered an immediate reduction in the 2026 Hajj fare to reflect the recent appreciation of the naira against the dollar, a major determinant of pilgrimage costs. Vice President Kashim Shettima, who convened the President's directive during a meeting with the management and board members of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, gave the Commission 2 days to produce a new and affordable fare structure. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications in the Office of the Vice President, Stanley Nkwocha, Vice President Shettima said the directive was necessary to ensure that Nigerian pilgrimage benefit directly from the positive effect of the ongoing economic reforms, particularly the strengthened value of the naira. Shettima called for a closer collaboration among NACO, state governments and other relevant agencies to harmonize the revised fares and ensure smooth coordination of the 2026 pilgrimage. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu within the week explained why his administration established a 200 billion naira intervention fund to support micro, small and medium enterprises and manufacturers. Tinubu, represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, stated this in Abuja at the 31st Nigerian Economic Summit organized by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. The President said it had become necessary to assist them in boosting competitiveness and addressing structural challenges. He said beyond the gross domestic product (GDP), the growth of 4.23% recorded in September 2025, the economic reforms spearheaded by his administration has started healing tangible results across sectors. According to him, it has surpassed projections from multilateral agencies and indigenous economic experts. Also, President Bola Tinubu within the week granted a presidential prerogative of mercy to one of Nigeria's founding fathers, Herbert Macaulay, and 174 others across various categories. This comes after a presentation by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi, who convened President Bola Tinubu's recommendations based on a report of the Advisory Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy at the Council of State meeting held in Abuja. Recall that Macaulay, often called the father of Nigerian nationalism, was twice convicted by the colonial authorities in Lagos for reportedly misappropriating funds from an estate he administered and sentenced to prison. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has warned marginal oil field license holders in Nigeria with the capacity to look for something else to do instead of wasting their time in the country's oil and gas industry. He made this known during the commissioning of the $400 million Green Energy International Limited crude oil export in Otakikbo, River State on Wednesday. Tinubu, represented by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Senator Henekin Lokboberi, noted that marginal oil field license holders must meet all obligations expected of them. Tinubu earlier stated that $400 million crude oil export terminal in Niger Delta region would unlock billions of barrels of reserves and create value for the economy. In a related development, President Bola Tinubu has accepted the exit of Professor Mahmoud Yakubu as chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, following the completion of his second term in office. Yakubu, who was first appointed in November 2015 as the 14th chairman of the commission, served 2 5-year terms with his reappointment in 2020. His tenure has now officially ended. In a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Information Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu commended Professor Yakubu for his service and commitment to strengthen Nigeria's democracy, particularly through the organization of free and fair elections throughout his 2-term tenure. As a mark of appreciation, President Tinubu has conferred on Professor Yakubu the National Honor of Commander of the Order of the Niger Con. In a separate development, the First Lady, Senator Remi Tinubu, within the week, officially flagged off the National Measles Rubella Vaccines Introduction Integrated Campaign in Abuja. Oluremi said the exercise was a collective resolve to end vaccine-preventable childhood diseases and safeguard the nation's future. The First Lady said measles and rubella remain among the leading causes of blindness, disability, and child mortality. She noted that rubella infections during pregnancy could lead to blindness, deafness, or congenital heart defect in unborn children and urged mothers to take their children for vaccination. The First Lady also appealed to traditional and religious leaders to use their clout to dispel misinformation and encourage nationwide participation. Away from that, the federal government plans to refinance Nigeria's expensive debt portfolio. This is part of ongoing efforts to reduce the nation's debt service costs and overall cost of borrowing. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, made this known at the 55th Annual Conference of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria in Abuja. Edun explained that the decision to refinance the country's high-cost debt was driven by a sharp rise in debt service obligations in recent years. According to him, debt service costs has surged. Treasury bill rate rose from 8% in 2023 to nearly 24%, and external debt service almost tripled from budgeted 2.7 trillion naira to 6.7 trillion naira in 2024. He added that the Bola Tinubu administration is determined to transition the Nigerian economy into one driven by competition and innovation, with the government acting as a facilitator rather than a dominant player. Meanwhile, the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Geoffrey Uche Naji, has resigned following some allegations of certificate forgery against him. President Bola Tinubu's media aide, Bayo Onanuga, who confirmed the resignation in a statement, said the president has accepted the minister's decision. Recall that President Tinubu appointed Naji in August 2023. Elsewhere, The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has said that President Bola Tinubu's administration is working hard to make life better for FCT residents and Nigerians in general. Wike made the remarks while inaugurating the rehabilitation of Old Kefi Road from Kadu Village to Daidai, Abuja. He explained that the rehabilitation of the road was in fulfillment of the President's promise to the traders and residents of the area, as the road was important to them. The minister urged the residents of the road to rally behind Tinubu and the chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council, Christopher Maikalanu, for responding to their needs. He stressed the need for electorate to choose people who know their needs and commit to pursuing them. Away from that, as part of its renewed commitment to tackling preventable blindness, the federal government has announced plans to distribute 5 million pairs of free reading glasses within the next 3 years. In addition, the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare has signed a 5-year Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) with the Foundation to strengthen comprehensive eye health services in Nigeria, focusing particularly on refractive error treatment and capacity building to improve nationwide access to quality eye care. The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Adekunle Saloko, who disclosed this during the 2025 World Sight Day commemoration in Abuja, reaffirmed the government's determination to improve eye health and reduce preventable blindness across Nigeria through the integration of primary eye care (PEC) into the primary health care (PSC) system and other targeted interventions. Saloko, who was represented by the Ministry's Director of Hospital Services, Dr. Jimong Saludin, explained that refractive errors such as presbyopia remains the most common causes of visual impairment in Nigeria. He emphasized that a good vision is central to national development and individual productivity, noting that impaired sight can hinder education, reduce workplace efficiency, and slow economic growth. Let's move now to the Red Chambers, where the Senate within the week advanced a bill that could revoke the international passports of Nigerians convicted of crimes overseas for a minimum of 10 years. According to report, the bill, sponsored by Senator Abubakar Bello, Niger North, seeks to amend the Passports Miscellaneous Provision Act as part of legislative efforts intended to restore the country's global reputation. Leading the debate, Senator Onuawu Oguwushi, Nasarawa South, speaking for the sponsor, argued that the bill is urgent and necessary. It said the bill is both punitive and deterrent and will discourage criminal conduct that damages the standing of the Nigerian passport and its citizens abroad. In the meantime, the Senate within the week sworn in 2 newly elected senators, Joseph Igwe and Emmanuel Nwachukwu, representing Edo Central and Anambra South Senatorial District, respectively. The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, presided over the ceremony during plenary, with the Clerk of the Senate, Emmanuel Ojo, administering the oath of office and alliance to the new lawmakers. The swearing-in follows recent by-elections conducted to fill 2 vacant Senate seats, one previously held by Monday Okpobolo, now Governor of Edo State, and the other by late Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, who passed away in July 2024. Before the ceremony, the Senate temporarily relaxed its rules to allow family members and dignitaries into the chambers to witness their event. Among the high-profile guests were former Delta State Governor James Ibori, former Edo State Deputy Governor and Director General of the Nigerian Institute of Sport, Philip Shuaibu, and other prominent political figures. Meanwhile, the Senate has confirmed that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) has submitted responses to 19 audit queries concerning an unaccounted 210 trillion naira covering financial years 2017 to 2023. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Accounts, Senator Aliyu Wadada, Nasarawa West, who made the disclosure, explained that although the NNPCL had responded to the committee's questions, the Senate has yet to critically examine the submissions. The queries relate to discrepancies in the audited accounts of the National Oil Company, which the Senate has described as lacking transparency. Recall that the committee had issued a 3-week deadline to NNPCL Chiefs Executive Officer Bayo Ojulari on July 29 to provide answers regarding the 210 trillion flagged in audit report. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives will this week debate a motion seeking urgent medical intervention for the detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. This is contained in a statement by the Special Assistant to the Deputy Speaker on Press Affairs, Udora Orizu, made available to newsmen in Abuja. The decision, according to Orizu, followed an intervention during Tuesday's plenary by the Deputy Speaker, Rep. Benjamin Kalu. Kalu reacted to a point of order raised on the subject matter by the member representing Ikwano Umuahia North Umuahia South Federal Constituency, Obi Agocha. In another development, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has arrested 12 suspected armed robbers linked to the killing of the journalist Somchukwu Madagu and a security guard Barnabas Danlami during a robbery attack in Abuja. Reports say the arrest followed the Scorpion Squad under the FCT command based on intelligence provided by a forensic firm. According to reports, the Commissioner of Police FCT Command ordered a manhunt for the suspect after the September 29 attack at a unique apartment in Gishiri Village, Katempe District. According to report, 12 suspects were arrested in connection with the incident. They include Shamsuddin Hassan Isa, Abubakar Al-Kamu, Sani Sirajo, Mashku Jimilu, Suleiman Badamasi, Abdul Salah, Zararadin Mohammed, Musa Adamu, Sumaya Mohammed, Isa Abdurrahman, and Musa Umar. In a separate development, members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, and those of the Non-Academic Staff Union NASU, have protested at the University of Abuja main campus. The protest, which took place within the week, is part of the nationwide action decided upon by the Joint Action Committee of the two unions, at the expiration of a 2-week ultimatum they gave to the federal government to address their demands, which are mainly welfare matters. The protesting university workers are demanding, among other things, the renegotiation of the 2009 agreement with the federal government, immediate payment of 25 and 35% salary increment, and the immediate payment of all withheld salaries. Let's move now to Akwa Ibom, where Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has approved the immediate release of 50 billion naira to all contractors whose interim payment certificate (IPC) are ready. during an impromptu project inspection visit to Dibong Model Farm at Ikode Dibong, in Sudubium local government area. The governor mandated the Commissioner for Works and Fire Service to ensure that all IPCs at the Accountant General's office are paid. He explained that it was imperative to maximize the benefit of the dry season, and as such, the contractors should be mobilized immediately back to site. The governor urged his executive assistants and chief delivery advisor, Aniefjok Johnson, to ensure that the monitoring teams are made to inspect and report compliance by the contractors.
To clear all pending and all contractors must return to work. I can stop by the site anytime, midnight, anytime. So all contracts that have IPCs must be released this week. Bring it, I'll sign off. Naira to clear all pending and all contractors must return to work. I can stop by the site anytime, midnight, anytime.
Meanwhile, Governor Moinoy yesterday paid an unscheduled visit to the site of the Model Secondary School in Ikodakbanabia-Ubium, Sudubium local government area, reaffirming his administration's resolve to transform the state education sector through the Rise Education Renewal initiatives. Speaking during the event, the governor described the project as a cornerstone of his vision to redefine learning by integrating academic excellence with technical and vocational training. He announced that similar model secondary schools of international standard will be established across the 3 senatorial districts to ensure equitable access to quality education. To ensure transparency, the governor urged contractors and job seekers to register on the state employment portal, noting that all government-related jobs would henceforth resource through the platform to promote fairness and inclusiveness. Highlighting the key features of the model secondary school, Governor Eno said the facility would include skill acquisition centers for trades such as ICT, catering, metalworks, and entrepreneurship, ensuring that students graduate with practical skills alongside academic learning. Let's take a listen.
So that back, imagine non-work office. I mean, Ndranyen Senge Kerutum, the other Weredo, Asa, government, Eyerinam, Model Secondary School, International Standards, K3 Senatorial District. What is it of Mountain Nidia, Utabaga Nidia, Rutes, who say, Avoven no Senewu. So, and I test against Rubium. He said, "Me project, me say in be now. I always say serve, be open. Building CB by me. I will be here in our contractor Kero. Mangfra, Adido, every day me. Cause you told me I saw them. So that by the grace of God, that it was September next year, I can return students. So,
the governor also announced the allocation of 10 hectares of land for a model school farm to be used for agricultural training and self-sustainability programs for students. He assured that the school would be completed and ready for student intake by September 2026, while similar flagship projects would take off in Ikodekbene and Eket senatorial districts to ensure even development. Pastor Enough further revealed that the state government is collating data on schools with infrastructure challenges across Akwa Ibom in preparation for a comprehensive renovation program to begin in the coming weeks. Government House correspondent Jen Owa reports that in his remarks, Senator Effiong Bob commended the governor for citing the magnificent project in Nsudubium, describing it as a clear demonstration of visionary leadership and love for his home community.
Adin Rubio Mira, Queredo Model Farm, Queredo this, and so projects at the army. I thank to work a foul me, Sirong Yamutum, and Moinamu, Utum, Ukang Model Farmer, the Bukans, and one corner Mewo, Sirong Bag a foul, Udo, a nonsense project, an opium project. I don't through Ubium project to one nam, you don't want Tara. Am I to my project? I mean, because you don't go can me. And business is a more grow. And I'm nowhere rent to fall. And I'm because you don't afraid where you don't go on who found with. Projects don't take nam community develop. Two major projects I didn't through your Mira. Queredo Model Farm. Queredo.
Meanwhile, Akwa Ibom State Governor within the week signed into law the 695 billion naira supplementary budget passed by the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. The signing took place during the October edition of the State Project Delivery Meeting held at the Government House, Uyo. Speaking shortly after signing the budget, Governor Noor expressed appreciation to the Speaker and members of the House of Assembly for the speedy passage of the Supplementary Appropriation Bill. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment to transparency, accountability, and people-centered governance. In a move to accelerate project execution, the Governor also released the sum of 60 billion naira to contractors whose interim payment certificate IPCs were ready and charged heads of ministries, departments and agencies MDS, along with delivery advisors to ensure strict adherence to project timelines and standards. Meanwhile, in his remarks, the Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Eldo Demotong, lauded the Governor for his inclusive leadership style and innovative governance approach. He appreciated the Governor for the ongoing renovation of the Assembly complex and pledged continued legislative collaboration with the executive arm of government. Government House correspondent Jen Owa reported that on their part, some stakeholders who spoke commended Governor Moino's commitment to effective service delivery, fiscal prudence, and the celebrated development of Akwa Ibom State, pledging their continued support to the Governor as a leader of APC and Team Akwa Ibom United. In a related development, Akwa Ibom State's Governor within the week expressed satisfaction with the pace and quality of ongoing work at the construction site of the Ibom International Hotel, which he described as a state-of-the-art facilities designed to meet global standards. Interacting with Government House correspondents shortly after inspecting the 14th-floor facility located along the State Shopping City corridor, Governor Noor commended the contractor for their dedication to work and urged them to adhere to the project delivery timeline.
Work is progressing. I think you should be able to ask the man. All I want is let's keep to the dates. So let's make him make commitments to the date. But I think he's doing well. You know, sometimes to fix something that was abandoned might be much more difficult than to start something from the scratch. From what I see, I believe he's making efforts. You can see for yourself. And I just want us to keep to the timelines. Work is progressing. I think you should be able to ask the man. All I want.
On his part, the contractor, engineer Samara of Rakon Construction Company Limited, while appreciating the state government for providing the necessary resources, assured that the project would be ready for commissioning as scheduled. Government House correspondent Jen Owa reports that the Ibom International Hotel is a 200-bedroom facility designed to complement the State International Convention Center and the shopping center, which are geared towards boosting the state tourism assets.
As I promised him during our tour, our technical tour, our finishing tour, to inspect the mock-up apartment, the mock-up bedroom, with all the necessary amenities of the hotel, we are keeping our word to deliver in June, end of June, the hotel. All the materials are already procured and are on the way to Aqua Ibom. So every month there will be a lot of improvement. By God's grace, we are keeping forward to target the timeline. Thank you, Your Excellency, for your visit. Thank you for your support, because really, without your support and without encouraging such type of engineering quality and construction, we will have.
Still to come in the news. World Bank dismisses Nigeria's single-digit inflation target. Do stay joined to us for these and many more stories right after the breather. Many thanks for staying tuned. On the foreign scene, Ecuador's authority within the week says 5 people have been detained after an alleged attempted assassination of President Daniel Noboa. According to the country's Energy and Environment Minister, about 500 people threw rocks at the car of President Noboa, and 3 signs of bullet damage were seen on his car. Noboa's office said those arrested would be charged with offenses of terrorism and attempted assassination. The country has been rocked with violent clashes and protests for diesel subsidy removals by the government for more than 2 weeks. On the foreign scene, the Nobel Prize for Chemistry has been awarded to Susumu Kitagawa, Richard Robinson and Omar Yachi for their work on metal organic frameworks. The announcement was made by the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences at a news conference in Stockholm, Sweden. The 3 winners will share prize money of 11 million Swedish kronor, which is £872,000. Away from that, Madagascar President within the week, Andry Rajoelina, has appointed Army General Rufin Zafi-Sambo as his new Prime Minister. The appointment comes a week after President Rajoelina fired his cabinet following days of protests. The demonstrations, which were prompted by frustrations of electricity and water cuts, have entered their 3rd week. The demonstrators, who are mostly students and youthful activists, called for the resignation of President Rajoelina. Meanwhile, Rajoelina accused his opponents of seeking to overthrow his government. We move down to the White House, where President Donald Trump within the week said that all medium and heavy-duty trucks imported into the United States will face a 25% tariff rate starting November the 1st. Recall that last month, Trump had said heavy truck imports will face new duties on October 1st on national security grounds, saying the new tariff were to protect manufacturers from unfair outside competition. Reports say under trade deals reached with Japan and the European Union, the United States has agreed to 15% tariff on light-duty vehicles, but it is not clear if they would face the rate for larger vehicles. The Trump administration has also allowed producers to deduct the value of U.S. companies from tariff paid on light-duty vehicles assembled in Canada and Mexico. In the meantime, thousands of displaced Palestinians streamed back towards their abandoned homes yesterday after a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas went into effect and Israeli troops began pulling back from parts of Gaza. A massive column of displaced Gazans filed north through the dust towards Gaza City, the enclave's biggest urban area, which had been under attack just days ago in one of Israel's biggest offensives onto the area. The Israeli military said the ceasefire agreement had been activated at noon local time. Israel's government ratified the ceasefire with Hamas in the early hours of Friday, clearing the way to partially pull back troops and fully suspend hostilities in Gaza within 24 hours. Still on the foreign scene, large parts of Kiev were plunged into darkness today after Russian drones and missiles struck Ukrainian energy facilities, cutting power and water to homes and halting a key metro link across the Dnipro River. In the latest mass attack, targeting the energy system as winter approaches, electricity was interrupted in 9 regions and around 600,000 households were temporarily without power across the country. A 7-year-old was killed when his home was hit in the southeast, and at least 20 people were injured. An apartment block in the center of Kiev was damaged by a projectile, while on the left bank of the Dnipro that divides the capital, crowds waited at the bus stop with metro out of action, and people filled water bottles at distribution points. Lastly, on the foreign scene, the Norwegian Nobel Committee says the Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to Venezuela's opposition leader and democracy activist Maria Corina Machado. The chairman of the Norwegian Nobel Committee in Oslo, Jørgen Frennes, said Machado was honored today for a tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela and for a struggle to achieve a just and peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy. Recall that U.S. President Donald Trump had led a public campaign to win the award, but nominations closed in January at the start of his second term in office. On our business news, the Central Bank of Nigeria has rolled out fresh guidelines for agent banking, known as point of sales, across the country. The apex also in the guidelines pegged daily POS transactions at 1.2 million per agent and 100,000 naira per individual. CBN disclosed this in a circular signed by its Director of the Payment System Management Department, Musa Jimong. The guidelines further mandate all financial institutions to publish the list of all their POS agents on their website and to display it in their branches. CBN noted that the guidelines would take effect from 1st April 2026. Still in business, World Bank has said that the federal government's ambition to achieve single-digit inflation in the short term is unrealistic, warning that Nigeria remains among a handful of African countries still grappling with high consumer price inflation. In its latest African Pulse report, the bank projected that Nigeria, alongside Angola, Ethiopia, Ghana, Malawi, Sudan, Zambia, São Tomé, and Zimbabwe will continue to record double-digit inflation rate through 2025. The report revealed that while 37 of Africa's 47 economies are projected to maintain a single-digit inflation by 2026, Nigeria remains an outliner due to persistent structural challenges, including currency depreciation, high food and energy prices, and supply bottlenecks that continue to fuel price instability. Still to come in the news. Agagbe appointed NPFL under-19 head coach. Stay tuned for details of this in just a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned. On the health news, a clinical psychologist has urged Nigerians to pay closer attention to their mental well-being as World Mental Health Day was marked yesterday. Speaking in commemoration of World Mental Health Day, the psychologist Dr. Adowase Rejoice explained that mental health goes beyond the absence of mental illness, giving more clarity on the difference between mental health and mental health illness. Speaking with our health journalist, Emedion James, the psychologist further encouraged individuals to seek professional help whenever they notice signs of distress rather than suffering in silence. She further also called on the public to shun stigma and discrimination against people living with mental health challenges, stressing that support and understanding are key to recovery. Meanwhile, World Mental Health Day is celebrated every 10th of October 2025, reminding everyone that there is truly no health without mental health. Still in health, researchers in human immunodeficiency virus have called on the federal government to urgently begin structured preparations for the nationwide rollout of injectable lenacapavir, a long-acting HIV prevention drug expected to become available at affordable rate in low and middle-income countries from 2027. They warned that Nigeria's recognition as an early access country will only be meaningful if it's matched by concrete plans for service readiness, regulatory approval, and equitable delivery across all levels of the health system. The HIV researcher said the international alignment on pricing, supply, and policy had removed any ambiguity for Nigeria's health authorities and should trigger immediate national level action. They stress that a combination of World Health Organization endorsement, U.S. clinical guidance, and guaranteed affordable access present a rare opportunity for Nigerians to lead on HIV prevention if preparation begins now. Let's move now to sports, where Eugene Agagbe has been appointed head coach of the Nigerian Premier Football League NPFL under-19 team. Agagbe's appointment was announced by Baru FC. Recall that Agagbe recently joined Baru FC technical crew. The two-week NPFL under-19 campaign program has already been opened in Abeokuta, Ogun State. The campaign exercise will run from Saturday 4th October to Friday 17 October. Away from that, Portuguese and Al Nassr's forward Cristiano Ronaldo has officially joined the ranks of global billionaires, according to Bloomberg. In its latest Bloomberg Billionaire Index, which tracks the world's richest individuals based on their net worth, the 40-year-old Al Nassr forward is valued at $1.4 billion for the first time. Bloomberg's valuation considers Ronaldo's career earnings, investment and endorsement deals. The report estimates that he has earned over $550 million in salaries since 2002, alongside lucrative commercial partnerships, including a decade-long deal with Nike worth nearly $18 billion annually. Ronaldo's record-breaking move to Al Nassr in 2022 reportedly made him the highest-paid footballer in history, earning £177 million per year. We move now to our entertainment scene, where the highly anticipated Pan-African crime thriller Three Cold Dishes was premiered last week to a sold-out audience of 1,757 guests at Indigo at the O2, London. Directed by award-winning filmmaker Ashuf Oluseye and executive produced by Bose Ogunlu, popularly known as Burna Boy and Osa, the film captivated viewers with its gripping tale of survival, sisterhood, and revenge. Set across Nigeria, the Republic of Congo, and Côte d'Ivoire, Three Cold Dishes takes audience on a bold cinematic journey exploring the dark realities of sex trafficking and the unhealing quest for justice. Still on entertainment, Nigerian singer Adekunle Gold has spoken about family and priorities, stressing that his wife Simi and daughter Adejare are the center of his life. The Oriental hitmaker emphasized that he can afford to be a failed musician, but not a failed father and husband. Featuring in a podcast, Adekunle Gold stated that one of his greatest goals is to give his daughter a better life than his parents gave him growing up, sharing that one of his songs is inspired by his determination to be a better father to his daughter. Lastly in the news at this hour, Afrobeat singer Stanley Omar Didia, popularly known as Omale, has claimed that the Nigerian music industry is becoming boring. The social hitmaker promised to spice up African music soon. This is coming after another Nigerian singer, Slim Case, expressed concerns over the country's music industry, claiming that Afrobeat artists' sounds were becoming boring. The Shaku Shaku crew now urged Afrobeat to release less music to build excitement and anticipation for their releases. He claimed that the constant release of songs among the Afrobeat stars was killing the genre. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News within the week. I am Emedion James. Enjoy the rest of the day and thank you for watching.